The film explores the spiritual journey of young black boys. Why was it important for you to tell the story in such a poetic and imaginative way?
It was important for me to tell this story in a poetic and magical and beautiful way, because I don't see my young boys be represented like this. I don't see poetry and jazz and locations that are vast and beautiful. I don't see them married with these things. And I wanted to change that, and I wanted to, I express myself in those types of ways. I love cinematography, I love poetry, I love art, and I wanted to write a love letter to them, and I found that this was the best way to do it for me. I just wanted to showcase them in a different light, and that light hopefully can be impactful for so many young people that see it.
For the boys, how did you first connect with your character and what drew you to the story?
I'm gonna do the second question first.
Yeah.
What drew me to the story was, first of all, like how in depth the writing was, and how out of worldly it was written, that I could almost picture what this place was, and then stepping onto Arizona, Atlanta, like I really saw what this image that I created. So I think the more I was reading it, and the second time I was reading it, and how emotionally I was being attached to the story, growing up in an area where the news is very close to home, and these topic matters, and I guess when taking on jobs, it's also about representation. Like Letitia was saying, that I didn't want to find myself playing generic roles, or the gangster role, or the guy that does the stabbing. So I feel like it was really important to address a topic which is so prominent, however, explore what that world is like afterwards. And so that's what really drew me to the script to begin with, just seeing another form of black boys and to see themselves in a different light. In terms of Micah, there was a lot of similarities between us two. A lot of it was questions and wanting to know why I'm where I am, and home, and the importance of home, and trusting in my brothers, which he eventually finds himself doing and having to accept Trey. So it was always about kind of finding where his journey was from beginning to end, and accepting that he's in this purgatory space, and the distance between home, and then just before we even started, just having conversations and meetings to really fine-tune what Micah is, what Odessa is to other young black boys as well. Like, he embodies an array of boys, you know what I mean? It's not just Micah, it's telling a story for lots of other black boys who have sadly passed away. So it's also just holding that responsibility, and trying to really homage the loss of young kings, if that makes sense.
For me, I think my inception of this was getting the script. I feel like it's really important to highlight that the script moved me a lot. Like, it was a really beautiful read, and I think it's important to say that because you read a lot, and it's not every day you can say that or feel that way when you've read something. But I remember reading it and like being in awe, like just feeling you could feel the heart of it from reading it. So yeah, feeling really moved from reading it, and then just sort of really wanting to be a part of this, and working hard to try and make that happen. And yeah, in terms of my relation with Trey, and then becoming or being a part of this, Trey wasn't necessarily originally written in the script, but after auditioning and then meeting Letitia, and being as passionate as I was, I think Letitia was also wanted me to be a part of this too, and so sort of birthed Trey, or changing the script so that it could work. And yeah, we would have a lot of conversations about the direction of that character and how it could go, and sort of where things can be. And yeah, I think that was sort of my introduction to the script and the role, essentially. And that was a bit of a fluffed answer.
No, it's not fluff.
No. What was it like working together?
It was great, honestly. it was great to work with these young kings, especially the young kings in New York as well. Just being inspired by them. It's a different ball game when you have young people look up to you, like really right there looking up to you and looking for your guidance as a leader. It gives you a fresh sense of responsibility, but also like an urgency to stay on task, you know, for what I said I was gonna do. Because I'm sitting them down and I'm essentially saying, we're gonna make this film, we're gonna go to these vast locations and I'm gonna try and figure out how to do it. And they're looking at me like, raw, how are you gonna do that? And then they're in the locations, they're on sacred land, they're on Navajo Nation tribe land, and they're like, I've never been here before in my life, you know? So it was great working with them. They've inspired me. Their dedication has meant a lot to me. Just anything I would throw at them in terms of like, hey, maybe try this, maybe try that, but also building a great sense of trust between them. Knowing that no matter what's happening outside or externally on set, that I would always like make sure that they're looked after. So that was really great. And I want to work with them again. I just need to find the right things because everyone's taking them now. So, you know, so I have to find something that's really like a blockbuster hit or something to get them back.
Yes. It was just incredible working with Letitia. I've been a massive fan watching you in front of the camera, but to work with you behind it's been a blessing to see how artistically and the knowledge you have of what it's like to be in the acting role, like the experience, the journey that we would want to film, and having that care made this process so easy and such a blessing, because it felt like every step of the way was well thought through and cared for, and just even stuff to do with the cameras are done and what, like we went to restaurants, like there's all these other factors that I guess as a young kid it's just really, it's such a privilege to be so cared for and well looked after, and to know you're in like the right hands, do you know what I mean? And then with the New York boys, like from day dot, like just form these bonds, like we were shooting like kayaks for like one day, like it was just fun, just being in scenarios where it's just fun, there's just joy and there's passion and making these bonds, and with Lamar, like just building this brotherhood outside of the film, like you realize how impactful a project can be where you really contemplate on the process and what you've had after it, do you know what I mean? So I feel like the process is only as good as the destination, and this process, this journey has just been such a blessing. Even going to Panda and Jojo, like all these connections that we've made along the way, like it's just nice to have great role models, because these are what I look up to in all different departments, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're all family, so I'm really appreciative of it all.
I feel like working on this project like has set a new standard for me. Not even just in like terms of what you want to receive, but also of yourself too. I think seeing like Letitia wear so many different hats on this, but still show up at like 100% within all of them, it like is showing me or has inspired me to also want to do the same when it's my time to do things like this. And yeah, working with Kenya, yeah, it's been great. Like I don't even look at it, a lot of time spent doesn't even feel like work, which is the sort of things you want to do. So I think that's also just a testament to the brotherhood that we've been able to build outside of this. But yeah, like working with both of these people, both great people, so it's sort of a dream situation.